Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me. All right, let's make sure that you are set so you can see the awesome book I'm going to read today. Let's turn you just a little bit. There we go. It's so beautiful outside. Is it nice where you are? All right, so today is day 3 of our interactive read aloud. This week we are exploring books all about answering the big question, where does my food come from? So if you missed day 1 or 2, don't worry, just go back and check it out. Both of the other videos are posted. And then this week we have some other fun cooking videos and recipes that you can use with your child, or if it's a child that's watching this right now, you can use it with your grown-ups. So let's go ahead and get started. We always start, warm up our brains with a song. Here we go.
Hello,
Hello,
bonjour,
bonjour,
hola,
hola,
vad nu då,
vad nu då,
shalom,
shalom,
guten
guten
Tag,
Tag,
konnichiwa,
konnichiwa,
nehoma,
nehoma, round the world in every land. When we bow or shake our hands or our elbows on your face, say hello to a brand new face.
hello, hello, buongiorno,
Buongiorno,
zdravo,
stravo,
jumbo,
jumbo,
yases,
yasis,
jonopot,
jonoput,
здравствуйте,
strasvutya,
namaste,
namaste. Round the world in every land, when we bow or shake our hands,
let your heart
lead the way, say hello to a brand new day.
hello, hello, aloha,
Hello. All right, so if you're joining me with a child, make sure you type in their name so I can shout out to them and include them in our discussion. Here we go. So this week, just to recap, we have already read Right This Very Minute. That was our first book. Our second book that we read yesterday was How Did That Get in My Lunchbox? Did you do that lunchbox activity yesterday? You did? Oh, awesome. And today we are reading Farmer Will Allen and the Growing Table. This was a new book for me, and it's one of my new favorites, so I'm so excited you're going to join me. You will need paper and pencil as always, and you're going to need some kind of coloring materials for after, and I'll give you the directions all at the end. Here we go. Farmer Will Allen and the Growing Table. So let's look at the cover first and get our brains ready for what we're going to read about. What do you think this book's going to be about? Go ahead and call it out. Yeah, I think it's going to be about plants. Oh, vegetables. Good one. Does anyone know where he is? Look it up here. Look at these clues that the illustrator gave. It almost looks like he's in a building. Does anyone know what that's called? A building where plants are grown. Green house. You got it. Here we go. This is written by Jacqueline Briggs Martin, illustrated by Eric Shabazz Larkin. So we are going to read part of this book today, and then you can always finish it by checking it out at your local library or picking it up at a bookstore. I know Ruby's Books here in Folsom can get it for you because that's where I got this one. Farmer Will Allen is as tall as a truck. He could hold a cabbage or a basketball in one hand. When he laughs, everyone laughs, glad to be in his crew. When he talks, everyone listens. But some say the special thing about Will Allen is that he can see what others can't see. Are they right? When he looked at the abandoned city lot and saw a huge table heaped with food, was he right? This page is called The Kitchen Table. When Will Allen was a boy, bowls of peas, greens, and his favorite, lima beans with ham covered the kitchen table. My mother often fixed enough food for 30, Will says. We never had a car or a TV, but we always had good food. He remembers people who'd come to dinner, tired and drooped and leaving, laughing. Okay, put your hand up and I want you to think about how many people do you usually share a meal with? So I'm thinking my own family. It's me, my 2 girls, my honey, which is my husband, 4. But sometimes we have bigger when we have more family over. And if it's safe and if we can eat outside, that way we won't worry about germs. What about you? Okay, let's keep going. Here's a little bit more about Will Allen before he became that farmer. Will's family grew most of their food. Will loved food, but he hated working. He planned to quit on planting, picking, and pulling weeds, and he'd leave those Maryland fields for basketball or a white shirt work. And he did. He graduated from college and moved to Belgium to play professional basketball. When a Belgian friend asked him to help dig potatoes, Will realized he loved digging in the dirt. Do you like digging in the dirt too? You do? I thought so. He grew so much food. And he and his wife Cindy covered their table with Thanksgiving dinner for their teams and for their friends and basketball team members. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. A new kind of farm. When Will was done with basketball, he worked a white shirt job in Wisconsin and found time to grow vegetables on Cindy's parents' land. Remember, this part of Wisconsin, he's living somewhere different than before. But Will wanted his own place. He'd seen the fresh vegetables were scarce in the city. Ooh, that might be a new word for you. Let's read that sentence again. But Will wanted his own place. He'd seen that fresh vegetables were as scarce in the city as trout in the desert. That means there weren't a lot. Will believed everyone everywhere had a right to good food. Me too, Will. Thumbs up if you agree. But how could Will farm in the middle of a pavement and parking lots? One day, driving in Milwaukee, he spotted 6 empty, what are those? Green houses, and they were empty. On a plot of land about the size of a large supermarket for sale. What do you think he's going to do? What do you think? You think so? He could see or imagine kids who had never eaten a ripe tomato, never crunched a raw green bean, sitting at his table eating his vegetable. And you know what he did? Will Allen bought that city lot. So we are going to jump now as the story progresses so you can see what happens in between here. There's all kinds of details. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek so you can see all the hard work that he and the community put in together. Ooh, worms. Love worms. Gotta have worms in a garden. But we are going to hop to this page right here. Farmer Will's work clothes are jeans and a blue shirt. Will Allen looked around. He saw teenagers, school children, parents, and grandparents, and he taught them to be farmers too. So anyone can learn to be a farmer. You can too. You just got to do a little research, and you got to try things out. And what else? You got to get dirty. Is Will Allen done? Never. We need 50 million more people growing food on porches, in pots, in side yards, by your front door, he says. Will is always looking for new ways to make the table bigger. More schoolyard plots. Do you have a garden at your school? I know my girls do, but I don't know if there's any fruits or vegetables in their garden boxes. I think maybe next time when I'm there, I'll go look. What about you? Will you look at yours? See if you have some? Ask your teacher. Maybe there's garden boxes at your school too. A vertical farm. Up and down. That's 5 stories high. Farms and empty factories or warehouses. Will Allen dreams of a day when city farms are as common as streetlights and every table is covered with good food. And this is the fun part. Okay. Make sure your imagination is turned on. Here we go. You are going to design or create. So a little bit of architecture, a little bit of engineering. Hi, Emma. A little bit of art. This is what you are going to do. you are gonna design on a blank piece of paper your own garden. But it's not just gonna be a regular garden. Most of you probably have seen gardens that grow flat like this, right? Across the land, either in a bucket, in a barrel, in a box. Today, we are gonna turn that garden vertically. Take a look at my bookcase here. This might help you. So Farmer Allen was talking about how taking empty buildings and turning them into gardens. So I'm gonna zoom in. Do you see my bookshelf here? See how I have a bottom shelf, a middle shelf, and a top shelf, and then the very top. I want you to imagine that that's a building, and that's what you're gonna draw on your paper. You're gonna draw a nice big vertical, up and down rectangle. And you can build 4 or 5 different levels, kind of like my bookcase. Here's my little sketch, my note. And then you are gonna pretend that each level you're gonna plant different things. Now let's think about this. What are some things that you might wanna plant? I love apples. Where do apples grow again? Can you call it out for me? Yes, trees. Now, if I were to plant a tree in a building, could I plant it on the shelf? No, why not? Yes, there would not be enough space. So if I'm gonna plant trees, I'm gonna plant them on the roof of my building so they can go as big as they want. What could I plant here on this middle one that has a ceiling? Call out some of your favorite fruits or veggies. Strawberries, absolutely. What else? Watermelons on a vine. Yep, I could have a whole floor. What about on my next layer down here in my building? What else could I plant and grow there? Someone said sweet potatoes. Yes, I love sweet potatoes. In fact, this week there is a recipe coming for sweet potatoes. I'm going to teach you how to do it. Actually, my friend Janelle's going to teach you how to do it. Okay, so that's what your job is today. You're going to take your paper, you're going to draw a vertical building, thinking about it like an abandoned warehouse, maybe even an abandoned business building. And you're going to plant or draw your crops, drawing or best guess spelling if you're going to label your drawing, of all the different fruits and vegetables that you are going to plant. You can always ask a grown-up for help, but I definitely want you to share your idea with your grown-up because grown-ups always love to hear kids' ideas and they're going to want to hear yours too. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you tomorrow for our last interactive read aloud for the week.